Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Paul. Pull up to the house, and I'm bringing you episode 2 from my NCAA 14 series. I called it the beginning of a dynasty. It's featuring the Georgia State Panthers. Originally, I had the Florida International University Panthers, but I had a change of heart because I'm going achievement hunting on NCAA 14, and one of them is to build this team up good enough to win a national title in year one. So what I'm doing here in this second video is setting up my recruiting board, redshirting my players, uh, fixing my depth chart, setting it up right, and then start setting up my custom schedule. So sorry for no gameplay. I've got a really awesome game that'll be coming out. I believe I want to have it out Friday. That way you guys can check it out for the weekend and everything. And it was my first game of the year against a nationally ranked opponent, and it was awesome. So you'll love it. But to the recruiting, I set up my board to have all 35 slots filled initially. That way I can get as much scouting done from the get-go as possible, just to kind of fill roster spots as I see fit. It also allows me to have a little flexibility with the selections I make as far as who to highlight initially. What I did there was I picked like 4 of the top 6 guys on the top 100 list, just kind of for shits and giggles, I guess. But seriously, I also want to try to bring them in. I mean, we're a brand new program, but with the schedule I'm going to set up, and you'll see it in a minute or so, if we start winning those games, we can become kind of a hot ticket, and kids might want to go to our school. So I definitely wanted to kind of lay the groundwork ahead of time. That way, once we blow up, those seeds will be planted where I can go after them. So what I'm doing right now is I'm sifting through different positions, excuse me, individually, and highlighted some quarterbacks, a couple running backs. What I look for in quarterbacks is decent speed, and then more balanced passers than anything, because I can do some damage in the pocket. I don't really like working with a lot of dual threat QBs, although I don't mind recruiting them. Um, Running back, I look for guys with speed. Definitely, speed is crucial in these games because one thing I've noticed is that there are a lot of like shoelace tackles. When you seems like you're maybe 4 or 5 yards ahead of a defender, he can kind of dive out at your feet and bring you down, and it gets kind of annoying. So a guy with 96 speed will definitely have a better chance of outrunning one of those linemen and their long hands and the long reach, when they go off those tackles, than a guy with a 92 speed. So that's what I look for. Receivers, all about height and speed. Any kind of combination of the two or one or the other definitely works for me. NCAA 13, I recruited a lot of like 6'5", 6'6". Even had a 6'7" receiver that also had like a 97 speed. He was a beast. I think I called him like Baby Moss or something because he was just incredible. I don't really use a lot of tight ends in my offensive sets. I do use them for blocking, so I look for guys that do block. What you see I'm doing here is after I recruited like the more of the 5 and 4 star players, I actually sorted by caliber of talent and their their intention level and their interest level, who they want to go to. And if I'm first on the list, I highlighted them. I got a lot of offensive linemen, some corners, running backs, receivers. Um, Defensive linemen, linebackers. I pretty much got a lot of guys that I figure I can use, and I'm gonna fill up my recruiting board completely. And then I think I'm not sure if I want to break down recruiting just yet, how to do it, because honestly I don't know how to do it yet on NCAA 14. The whole promise system is gone, and you're allocating points now instead of just kind of giving guys a call for 10 to 60 minutes a week. So it's something I want to figure out before I give a kind of extensive tutorial on it. Now what I'm doing is redshirting players. What I normally do is redshirt guys who aren't going to contribute this year. Like that freshman's like a 59. He won't see the field even though we're not a great team. He won't play. I like to keep freshmen eligible as long as possible, so I'll redshirt them unless they're just truly impact freshmen that need to play immediately. But I don't have any of those at the given moment. Offensive linemen, my philosophy is I want to keep them, excuse me, I want to keep them on my team as long as possible. That way in the off season they can, train and work out and get better each year. That way by the time they're, juniors and seniors, because we're Georgia Southern, so, or Georgia State, so we're not going to have guys just declaring for the draft every year. So by the time we reach the senior year, you could be, a pretty decent player for my team. So I definitely want to, utilize the red shirt while I can. Now with corners, I usually keep the fastest guys, and the lower rated guys tend to go because I don't have a use for them. Maybe they'll improve in the following off season. Kickers and punters usually keep one apiece, so you got to keep those guys. And then the next available option was the depth chart, and I'm gonna run through that real pretty quickly because it's pretty much set. I'm gonna run out the best guys, the best ratings, to give us the best chance of winning, of course. Now, if I had a team like Ohio State or Texas A&M, I would pick guys based on their measurables, height, speed, acceleration, things like that, catching. So even if there's a guy that was an 81 or 82 rating, I may replace him with a 77 who may be a 95 speed, put him in a slot or something like that, things like that. But my team is pretty bare on the talent side of the ball, or the talent aspect of the game in general. So what I'm going to do is put out the best guys, period, except in the case of kick returners. I want the fastest guys out there, period, though I can kind of, do my best to, get pretty good field position for my team. So you can see my roster. We're not very good, but I'm a good player at this game, so you're going to see what I can do even with nothing. So now the next option in the preseason menu is choosing an extra pipeline state. I don't do that because that actually requires you to, spend real money on an upgrade that allows you to choose an extra state that gives you kind of a bump or an advantage in recruiting. So I'm not going to do that. If you want to, feel free. You can pick it up off the dashboard. You just click it, and it gives you an opportunity to select what kind of upgrades you want. Whether you want to upgrade to max out your guys' training schedule for the next year, so they can get the maximum increase in their attributes. You can choose to buy things for Road to Glory. I don't really do that because I don't want to spend extra money on a game that I've already spent a ton of money on. You know what I mean? Anyway, now what I'm doing is setting up a custom schedule. What I want to do is make the toughest schedule possible. It'll be difficult and frustrating playing against these top teams because I have to work my ass off just to stay close and to win the games. So what I'm doing, I'm scheduling the best teams possible each week. That way I can build the best case for a national championship. Because if I go undefeated with an A-plus schedule, there's a good chance I'll be playing in a major bowl game. So as you can see, I've already scheduled Ohio State on the road. I scheduled Texas A&M on the road. So, that definitely comes into play. Alabama already had us scheduled because they want us to, I guess, serve as a tune-up before they get into their SEC schedule. But little do they know they got another thing coming when they play a team like me or led by me because, I'm just not, a normal representative of Georgia State. I'm controlling things and I'm going to tear shit up. So, we'll see. But as you saw, we're playing the nation's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5th ranked teams in the first 5 games of the year. So if I win all 5 of those, you can imagine seeing Georgia State in the top 25. They have to be. There's no way they can't be. But the video's wrapping up. I apologize for no gameplay. Like I said, I've got some pretty cool stuff coming out for you guys, especially from this game here. This game was incredible. I really had a great time playing against Ohio State in Ohio State. It was awesome. 100,000 people were watching as both teams put on a show. So I'll have that video out by this weekend, hopefully, so you guys can check it out and enjoy yourselves. But be sure to leave a like if you like what I'm doing with Georgia State and just kind of the breakdown I'm giving of my roster setup, depth chart strategies, etc. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. I just hit 200 subs the other day. Thank you guys so much. But until next time, this is I Pull Up to the House. I'm getting up out of here, all right? Peace.